If your homepage tries to explain everything at once, this is probably why people don't convert. There's one mistake I see on service business homepages more than anything else, and it creates confusion immediately. So let's talk about it. So, the mistake I see most often with service homepages is they try to say too much. They attempt to explain, every service, every feature, every credential, and every reason they think they're better. The result is too much pressure on the visitor. There's an important rule to remember here. Each page on your site should have one primary purpose. The home page is not the place to tell everything. So why does this break conversions? Visitors are not on your home page to learn your full story. That's usually the assumption that people want to read about you, your background, how you started, and everything you offer. In reality, they're trying to answer one question. Is this the right company for what I need? And they're trying to answer that question fast. When too much information is presented up front, a few things happen. Focus gets lost, priority becomes unclear, and decisions get delayed. People don't know, what they're supposed to look at first, so they just don't move forward at all. And when people don't know where to focus, they don't act. Not because they aren't interested, but it's because the page made the decision much harder than it needed to be. So, what does this look like in practice? The problem usually shows up in a few very predictable ways. You'll see long paragraphs right at the top of the page, multiple messages competing for attention, and several calls to action all stacked together. And usually they're all asking you to do something different. Call, book, get a quote, learn more. Nothing's technically wrong on its own, but all of it together creates noise, and the result is so simple. Nothing stands out, so nothing gets clicked. Again, the page isn't broken, it's just overwhelming. So the better approach to the home page is to think about it like this. A home page really has one main job: to orient the visitor. It's not there to convince them of everything. It's there to help them kind of get their bearings. It should quickly communicate a few things: who you help, what problem you solve, and what to do next. That's it. Everything else can wait. The details belong deeper on the site. They can be discovered after the interest is established, not before. So here's a quick rule to follow. I want you to look at your homepage headline, your subheadline, and the main button. If those three things don't make sense on their own, the page is just trying to do too much. You shouldn't need paragraphs of explanation to understand what happens next. Those three things should give you the full picture. If someone, has to scroll and read just to figure out why they're there, the page has already failed. The better approach is simple. Simplicity first, explain later. So the one key takeaway for today is, most service business websites don't fail because of traffic. They fail because the message is just unclear. The page is overloaded and the next step isn't obvious. Confusion doesn't cause objections either. It causes exits you'll never see directly. No angry emails, no complaints, just silence. And, if you've ever looked at your analytics and thought, people are visiting, but nothing's happening, that's exactly why. Clear beats complete. If someone wants your full story, they'll explore. Most visitors won't, though, so be clear, damn it. I hope this has been helpful. If you have found it helpful, be sure to subscribe. I want to help as many people as possible, and subscribing will help me do just that. Plus, I'll be posting more videos like this one to help service businesses fix what actually matters, and surely you don't want to miss out on that, right?